A major breakdown in Vienna, ongoing nuclear talks between world powers and the Ayatollah regime in Iran coming to a standstill as Tehran reportedly freezes negotiations until mid-August at the earliest, this being just after the swearing in of Iranian President-elect Raisi. Renewed nuclear negotiations between the P5+1 world powers and the Ayatollahs in Tehran seemingly stuck since June 20, and there's no sign that they'll resume anytime soon. Iranian authorities now saying that they have no intentions of restarting talks until at least mid-August, after Iranian President-elect Ebrahim Raisi begins his administration. Officials apparently asking for time to deal with the transition of office. Though the new Iranian administration in itself posing fresh problems, as Raisi, aka the hangman of Tehran, is already garnering sharp opposition worldwide, particularly by Iranian expats who recently took to the streets around the world in protest.
We want that the federal government of Germany initiate investigations against the regime, sanctions against the regime, and maximum pressure against the Iranian regime. Ali Khamenei is the godfather of terrorism, and Ibrahim Raisi is a mass murderer.
Additionally, Raisi is seen as a hardline proponent of the Iranian nuclear program, and Tehran, meantime, increasing its pro-nuclear rhetoric, a tried-and-true negotiating tactic as long as Iran claims it's for peaceful pursuits.
صنعت هسته‌ای ما با قدرت باقی موند و تو این ماهای اخیر بیشتر ظاهر شد و نشون داد که سازمان انرژی اتمی ما با چه توانمندی و قدرتش میتونه 20% تولید کنه، میتونه 60% تولید کنه. حتی اگر یه روزی نیاز داشته باشیم ما برای راکتوری 90% هم باشه ما میتونیم، ما مشکل نداریم، هر چه برای صلح‌آمیز در مسیر صلح‌آمیز هر کاری رو ما میتونیم انجام بدیم.
Regardless, Western powers are opting to continue with nuclear negotiations, arguing that they're the best path forwards. And this even as Iran at the same time violating negotiating powers' sovereignty, like how when alleged Iranian intelligence operatives in New York attempted to kidnap Iranian-American journalist and critic Masih Alinejad. At least 4 Iranian nationals now indicted in the plot.
We have never assessed Iran to be a good actor in the world, not just by this plot to kidnap a person who's residing in the U.S., but their activities in the region, which we have had great concern about, and the president has taken retaliatory actions for. But at the same time, we still see it in U.S. interest and in our national interest to engage in ongoing discussions so that we can have greater visibility into Iran's path to acquiring a nuclear weapon. So we will continue to pursue those talks, pursue the diplomatic path forward, which we think is in our interests and continues to be constructive.
That said, other, more aggressive options are seemingly still on the table. U.S. President Biden said to be inviting Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett to Washington in August, and with Iran and the nuclear deal reportedly topping the agenda. Israel has consistently railed against negotiations with Iran and, by extension, the JCPOA nuclear deal, arguing that Iran's existential threat against Israel and the region must not be underestimated. Finally, in that same vein, Israeli security establishments are requesting a massive budget increase of several billion shekels per year, the idea being to properly prepare for a potential attack against Iran's nuclear program.